10,000 subscribers. Holy moly, we did it. Thank you to each and every one of you for the support. When I started out this channel back in 2020, this was the original milestone I set for myself. I thought if I could get 10,000 subscribers, anything beyond that would probably be possible. And here we are. It's been quite a ride already, but I'm ecstatic to see what else the future holds for both me and this channel. Now, I know I don't talk a lot about myself in general, so this has actually been an opportunity I've been looking forward to for a while. But back when the channel hit 9,000 subscribers, I opened up the possibility for you guys to ask me any type of questions you wanted. And I can't tell you how great it's been to read all of your amazing thoughts and... Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the questions. Do I use a voice changer? No, I do not. This is my real voice, no added effects of any kind. It sounds this way because of sickness and surgeries I had in the throat and lungs as an infant. I've made a video going into great detail about why it sounds this way, and you can watch that right here. Is doing YouTube stuff your full-time job? I wish. It doesn't pay enough for that yet though. Maybe one day. I also do writing on the side. And of course you're my favorite. Are you married, and what's your favorite song? I'm not married, but I do live together with my girlfriend, and we have a daughter together who's 14 years old. My favorite song is probably Smooth Criminal or They Don't Care About Us by Michael Jackson. What was it about Hunt that made you want to be a lore keeper? That's a good question. I actually never set out to do lore videos. I actually set out to be just another gaming YouTuber. I've been a fan of Let's Plays for like forever, especially watching Michael Rich with Jones and all of the rest of the guys from Achievement Hunter. I absolutely love doing gameplay commentary. It just never took off for me. So when my friend Kika, big shout out to my girl Kika by the way, suggested that I might use my voice for lore reading instead, I was like, oh, maybe that's a good idea. I was already a huge fan of Hunt Showdown at that point, and when I tried searching for lore on YouTube, I only saw the people reading it word for word, which I didn't find very interesting. Like if I wanted to read the lore, I'd just, go read the lore, so I wanted to dramatize it. The intro for the original Resident Evil on PlayStation 1 has always been one of my favorite gaming intros of all time. That type of dark mystery it paints to set up the game before it actually starts, that was the very inspiration for my narration style in the first lore video.
Bizarre murder cases have recently occurred in Raccoon City. There are outlandish reports of families being attacked by a group of about 10 people. Victims were apparently eaten.
Rumors upon rumors spread throughout the state, where outlandish reports suggested that collective madness drove the population insane. That is also why I used the Resident Evil intro for each episode of Hunt Showdown lore. So yeah, that's pretty much how I came to be the lore keeper, I should put it, for Hunt Showdown. How goes the voice acting career? Well, I haven't really gotten a lot of gigs for voice acting. It's mainly small-time parts occasionally, nothing crazy. In terms of becoming a Hunt partner, I don't know if there's anything to do. I think that's in the hands of Crytek. Congrats on the 9K. What was the series of events that led you to doing what you do? It was actually a knee injury in jiu-jitsu that caused me to start the channel. I tore my ACL through a pretty rough sparring session, and rather than just calling it quits after the tear happened, I continued sparring, which is pretty fucking retarded in hindsight. I also walked on the leg home, which was probably also a stupid idea, but with not a lot to do in my daily life except for the rehab, I thought I'd channel my creativity into something else other than writing. Like, I always loved writing, but I just needed something else to do on the side as well, so I didn't go nuts from monotonous labor, So, here we are. Where do you think you would be if you weren't doing YouTube? I probably would have used my creativity more in terms of writing. I absolutely love writing, especially science fiction. The problem is, I'm shit at it. Novels at least. My English grammar, though acceptable, it's just not enough for commercial writing, so I'm much better at writing scripts for comic books or video games where the grammar isn't that important. I can just use my vocabulary to convey emotions and describe it to an artist so they can convey my words into actual imagery. Much easier. I would probably have pursued working with a graphical artist to create my own comic book series. That's actually something I still dream about doing. Meowdy! You like movies? And if yes, what's your favorite movie? And meowdy to you too. I love movies, but my favorite one, that might be a tie between Aliens and The Matrix. I can't decide. I absolutely adore both of them. What's your favorite game? My favorite game, that's a tough one. If I had to choose one single particular game, I might have to go with Metal Gear Solid. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no? Absolutely yes. Peach or cherry iced tea? I don't really like iced tea, to be honest. Nutella with butter or without? I'm gonna have to go without. I'm not very fond of butter. Cereals, then milk, or vice versa? I don't really eat cereal, so I don't know. I'd probably go cereal first. If you could change one thing in Hunt, what would it be? The flash bombs. Definitely. Nerf the flash bombs. They're just infuriating. Last question, you doing good? I think I am. I think I'm doing okay. I'm struggling a bit to find my place in life at the moment, but I'm getting there. Thank you for asking. I hope you're doing well too. Cats or dogs? Where you're from and how does the voice impact the way you speak your native language? Well, though my daughter has a cat, bitchy little thing that thinks it owns the entire apartment, I'm actually a dog person myself. I would love to have a Labrador or a German Shepherd. I'm from Denmark, and I wouldn't say that my voice affects my Danish any more than it affects my English, so they both sound the same amount of raspy and hoarse. Du kan lige få et lille sample her, og så kan du sammenligne de to forskellige sprog, og så se om du hører en forskel. But I don't think you'll be able to. You still love me? With all of my heart, baby. Your top 5 games, and which is better, coffee or tea? Oof, that's a great question. First of all, coffee for sure. Number 1, Metal Gear Solid for the PS1. Absolutely phenomenal game. Like the graphics for the time, I know. It's completely mind-blowing that it could be great graphics considering today's standards, but trust me, back then it was insane. And then there's the voice acting, the sound design, David Hayter as Solid Snake.
Can you shoot me, rookie?
Careful, I'm no rookie.
Liar. That nervous glance, that scared look in your eyes. They're rookie's eyes if I ever saw them. You've never shot a person, am I right?
David is just phenomenal, but then there's the story and the twist, and don't even get me started. Moving on. Number 2, Resident Evil for the PlayStation 1 as well. That game has probably traumatized me more than anything else in my life. Number 3, that's gotta be Final Fantasy VII, also for the PS1. All 3 of them are absolute classics and my entire childhood summarized. Talking about what I love about those 3 games is 3 different videos in itself. Number 4, probably Counter-Strike. I've played Counter-Strike since 1.0 back in 2000 and I still play CSGO to this day, so to me it's the GOAT of multiplayer shooters. Number 5's probably Hunt Showdown. It's not revolutionary, but it's unique in its own very way. The setting, the atmosphere, the gunplay, the lore, it's just phenomenal. Like the number 1, 2, and 3 spot are absolute certain, but I could probably debate about my number 4 and 5 between 100 different titles. StarCraft Blue War, Roller Coaster Tycoon, Alien Isolation, Darkwood, Battlefield 1942, Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction, Command & Conquer Generals, Halo 1, Halo Reach, Gears of War 3, I mean, too many good games to list, but I think I'll stick with this one for now. Other than Hunt, what other games do you enjoy or maybe hope to cover in the future? Well, as I just mentioned, I enjoy a lot of games. Like, I really love gaming. But in terms of lore and stories, I just covered Project Zomboid and I would like to stick with the dark theme basically. So like Diablo, Resident Evil, Darkest Dungeon, more of Dead Space probably. There's just so many games in so little time, but I think in terms of utilizing my voice to the best of its ability, I think I have to stick with dark games. But if you have any suggestions, I'd be happy to take them. What format of media do you mostly consume? Games, books, or movies? I'd say mostly games, but I also like movies, and I try to get some reading in whenever I have the time. Currently I'm in the middle of A Storm and Swords, the 3rd book in the series A Song of Ice and Fire. I also have an entire collection of Dragon Ball Z, which was my absolute go-to manga as a kid. I've also started reading Bleach and Death Note. It's just difficult to find time for all of it, you know? Current favorite lore? My favorite lore in Hunt Showdown has to be the small section describing the clues or the rifts and how the hunters interact with them. It's just so dark and well written. Favorite lore from your childhood that was formative of your passion for storytelling? That's actually a great question. When I was little, my mom used to read 1001 Nights for me, which is Middle Eastern folk tales compiled into this huge book. We also read a lot of Greek mythology. On top of that, I'm also heavily into Norse mythology. Besides that, I was also heavily into tabletop RPGs and creating my own stories through that. So that might be where my love for storytelling comes from. When are you going to start telling your own original fiction? Well, I actually do have an entire written series of science fiction novels spanning 7 books. The problem is that they're garbage. Not the plots, I just want to emphasize that. I like the narrative I've created. One of them has a particularly clever twist that I'm proud of. It's just my grammar and writing, it's subpar. I would like to turn them into comic books one day, where, you know, I can convey environments, moods, and action through an artist, instead of my own shitty grammar. 5 years from now, what would you like the channel to look like if your wildest dreams came true? Well, in 5 years, I would love to have grown this channel to a place where I would be making a solid living from it. That's definitely the dream. What makes for the better shake? Lava rocks or marble chips? That's a great question. I think lava rocks sounds delicious. Gonna have to go with that. Will you ever do a face reveal? I might. I won't rule it out. I'm just afraid it would destroy the magic behind the Hazmat persona. Personally, I think there's a certain charm to not knowing the face of a content creator, but then again, that's just my personal opinion. Okay, so if you had the chance to kill someone without anyone noticing it was you, would you do it? Nice try, FBI. Where did the design of your Hazmat character come from? This is actually quite a long thought process that culminated on Placeit, if anyone is familiar with that. Before I started the channel, I wanted to make sure that I had a theme, so my name would match my logo, or my avatar if you will. Some of the original names were Vortex, Toxic, Venom, Quasar, but I didn't really like any of them because they didn't fit that well with my voice. So instead I started doing wordplays and associations, and that's actually where the magic happened, because a horse in Danish is haze, and haze kinda sounds like has, so I was like, that's fucking perfect. And now that I had the name, I just needed something that would play well together with it visually, and seeing that I have no graphic skills whatsoever, I looked around online for places where I could create a logo for me, and Placeit was just this massive playground full of opportunity. It took a couple of attempts, but I thought the gas mask was the perfect fit for the name. So I created the logo on Placeit, and I took that logo to a graphical designer and asked her to create a full-figure character based on it, because I wanted it to be animated. The idea from the get-go was that the avatar was supposed to be post-apocalyptic. That's why I chose the gas mask in the first place. And hand in hand with the gas mask goes, of course, a trench coat. So based on my requirements for the theme and setting for the avatar, along with a color palette, the graphical designer created this character. I then took the character that she created to an animator who made an animated file that I could put into the program called FaceRig, and boom! The Hazmat avatar was born. And you know what? I am very pleased with the result. Whoop! Post-editing Hazmat coming at you. It just so happens that during the creation of this video, I have become partnered with Invade.com, and thereby also Placeit. So now that I have the chance, let me just throw this shameless plug at you. If you're looking to create a logo, a banner, intro, or an overlay for your YouTube channel, your live stream, or anything in between, Placeit probably has exactly what you need. As I've said before in this channel, I would never vouch for anything I haven't used myself, and Placeit is the very site that started everything for me and my channel. If you're interested, I've left a link for you in the description so you can go check it out. You might be pleasantly surprised. And with that said, back to the video. How have you been feeling in regards to your channel and its growth? So happy, above and beyond ecstatic. I can't tell you how unique and rewarding experience it is to have people enjoy the content I put out. The feedback and engagement with all of you is definitely the best part of having this channel. I literally look forward to checking my phone every morning so I can read and answer your comments. I absolutely love it. How would you describe your playstyle in Hunt? 2 words. Yee and ha. If a completely new gun was to be added to Hunt Showdown, what would it be? I would love something like a bomb lance, but something that fires a chain shot that could trap people. So you could shoot it, trap them, and rush them. I know it sounds absolutely fucking cancerous, but that would be perfect for my yeehaw kind of style. Are you still planning on invading Germany? Absolutely. The invasion of Germany is right on schedule. However, Sweden is first. Reclaiming Skåne is the priority. If you could add any boss to Hunt Showdown, who or what would it be? In the original idea for Hunt, back when it was a third-person game called Horrors of the Gilded Age, there was this boss that worked solely for co-op or team play. It was this witch or banshee that when encountered would trap one of the other players within her realm, and that player would have to mark her by shooting her so the other players in the real world could kill her. It's not only great in terms of gameplay mechanics, but in terms of the lore and how to experience the lore, it could be such a great way to show what the other side looks like. And there's the werewolf too, of course. Like, if you haven't seen that trailer, go check it out. How hyped are you to be incorporated into more music? Shit, I guess I still have some work to do in that music department, huh? How's your gains coming along? Oh, they're coming along nicely, thank you. Answer the question you've always wanted to be asked. Yes. I'll marry you, Goose. I got a few questions for you if that's okay. It's not. Alright, fine then. What's your favorite food? Tortillas for sure. Not in the original Mexican sense. It's kind of sacrilege there. But my own kind of tortilla. I like to stuff them full of kale, cabbage, spinach, bell peppers, and avocado. I generally mostly enjoy healthy foods. I'm heavy on fruits, vegetables, grain, and proteins. Have you heard of Titanfall 2? I have, but I've never played it. How's your day going? It's going great, thank you. Did the Devil's Moon confuse you as much as it did me? Yeah, probably. Devil's Moon was absolutely atrocious. It sucked. Who's your favorite hunt partner? He has to be Danish, right? You know it. No one runs into traps quite like you, my man. Who's your favorite legendary hunter? Well, I would have to say that Sheriff Hardin is probably my favorite legendary hunter, both in terms of looks and lore. He's a cruel and vicious man ready to do whatever it takes to prevent humanity from falling into the hands of the corruption. Him sending children into the bayous? Whew. That's cold. My favorite legendary weapon skin is the Sniper's Gift, which is kind of funny because I never play with it, but I just think it's absolutely beautiful. It's the best looking skin in the game by far in my opinion. Would you ever consider doing audiobooks? I would love to do audiobooks at some point. That does, however, require some sort of label or company to pick me up as a narrator. I've applied and auditioned for several, but no response so far. Maybe one day. Congrats on 9K, too bad I don't have a question. I appreciate it nevertheless, guys. A big thanks to each and every one of you for stopping by, asking questions, watching my videos, and of course, supporting me and the channel. As I said in the beginning, this was the original milestone I set out to do, so with that out of the way, I don't think there's any limit to what we can do with the channel. I also want to give a special shout out to every member of the Hunters Lounge for supporting me and the content I put out. And of course, to each and everyone else, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I can't tell you how much it means to me. Take care, everyone. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one.